If you're running an MSP, one of the things that you're going to want to do at some point is start hiring salespeople. Salespeople help you grow your MSP, and they also help free up your time, because as you grow the business and you get more customers, your attention has to be focused on building the team that actually can execute, not doing all the work yourself. So if you're trying to build that sales function, first question is, what are the roles you need to hire for? And the more important question is, who do you hire first? Where do you start? In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 critical sales functions in a good sales department for an MSP. And I'm going to tell you who to start with. Who do you hire first when you're trying to build that team? Hey, Robbins here, founder of TMT, where we specialize in working with small, mid-sized MSPs, IT service companies to get more clients, but better quality, higher paying, more appreciative clients, and do it on a consistent basis. And to do that, you need both a marketing function, but you also need a sales function, because marketing is the beginning of the sales process. That's worth writing down, because most companies, number one, they treat them like 2 entirely separate departments that don't even like each other. They blame each other. So you have to have your sales and your marketing function working together, because marketing sets up and leads to the sales process. So both have to be functioning, because if you're doing a bunch of marketing and then you don't end up having a good sales function, all the leads, all the opportunities that marketing produces are basically going to go to waste. And then you're going to blame the marketing. You're going to say, hey, that marketing didn't work, when it actually did. It's just you don't have salespeople that are picking up the phone when the opportunity comes in. They're not doing the necessary work to follow up on the opportunities, the referrals, the callbacks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to be committed to both. So when we talk about sales in most MSPs, as you might imagine, the vast majority of the sales are being done by the owner themselves. And it's really kind of interesting, because when you look at larger MSPs, the ones that are growing, the ones that are, 10 million and above, right? They all have sales people on their team. And if you look at the smaller MSPs, even 5 million and below, again, the owner is typically doing all the sales themselves. And because of that, one, they're doing a really crappy job, not because they're terrible sales, although some of them are, but it's because they're busy. If you're the CEO of a company, it is really difficult to make sure you do all the callbacks like you should, all the emails that you should, do all the prospecting that you should. Yes, you are in sales, and in being in sales, meaning you should be selling the high level clients. You should be involved in sales. You should be looking for strategic partners. You should be leading the sales team. Yes, you're involved in sales, but you still need, I'll use the term worker bees. You need people doing the work of sales, right? So there are 5 functions that you're going to need to hire and build in your organization as you grow. Okay. Now, the first function is going to be sales support. Now, what I would put in sales support would be your marketing team, who is putting together sales enablement materials, like, your shock and awe box. The person or the marketing team that is setting up your CRM, getting good lists, getting lists in, getting them cleaned, sending out the marketing pieces so that the sales team can follow up, So the marketing team is supporting the sales department and getting them the things that they need. You also need somebody who is setting up campaigns in your marketing automation platform, setting up widgets, like when I say a widget, I'm talking about like these little dashboard type reports of how many prospects, how many callbacks, how many opportunities. You need somebody who's doing that as well, setting up the systems. Now, the salespeople are using that, but somebody needs to set those systems up. So you need the marketing, you need the CRM automation enablement, and you also probably need a sales engineer. So that would be somebody who's technical. So when the sales rep is going in and actually preparing, whether it's an assessment or an audit, they are supporting that sales role. So that's going to be a couple different people. Your marketing person may be able to do it all in the beginning when they're small. Today, I've got actually 2 people on the team that understand sales and marketing automation. They work that platform. I have a person dedicated to our lists. So importing, cleaning lists. They run a team of list cleaners. I've got several people on the marketing department. I've got right now like 6 or 7 people in the marketing department, plus the CMO, chief marketing officer. So yeah, I'm a bigger company. don't freak out. I mean, you build it one brick at a time. All right. So the first function you need is going to be sales enablement, sales empowerment, sales support. Okay. The second function that you're going to need is an appointment setter, or what we call an SDR, a sales development rep. Sometimes they're called an appointment setter, telemarketer. Sometimes they're called a BDR, business development rep. But essentially, these are entry-level salespeople who are doing the sort of grunt work of beating the bushes and trying to get prospects to a point where they want to book an appointment to talk to one of your more senior sales reps. So they would be doing things like following up on direct mail pieces you're sending out. They'd be following up on inbound leads and referrals, or trade show leads that you got in, or you do a webinar and you get a bunch of people on there and you want to follow up to book an appointment. That's what that SDR does. Now, that SDR, if they're a really good one, they're making somewhere around 100 dials a day, which is not impossible if that's their focus of their job. A good SDR with good sales support, they can make about $125 an hour, and that's including talking to people. I mean, they're going to mostly get voicemail, obviously, but that's about what they're going to be producing. So you want that SDR because they're bubbling up the opportunities, they're doing the callbacks, they're following up with people. Again, you, the owner, you go out to a networking event and you come back with 12 business cards. You can hand it off to that SDR and say, call these people, book appointments, follow up, send them a shock and all, send them our marketing material, whatever. And it's done. And then where you might get involved is actually in the meeting itself. So this SDR can take a lot of that off your plate, and more importantly, make sure it's being done, because all these opportunities, they're not just going to fall in your lap. Somebody has to own them, work them, book them, confirm the appointments, move the appointments, send the materials in advance, all the things that you need that you as the owner are going to be too busy to do. So the SDR is a really key role. Another key role is going to be your account manager. And so this is a sales rep that is dedicated to meeting with existing customers, who's doing the QBRs. But they're also handling requests from customers who say, hey, I just hired 3 employees. I need 3 new computers. Can you get over here? Or I got a project, or I got a problem, or whatever. So you need an account manager. And so roughly, general rule of thumb is by the time you have about 25 good managed accounts, you need to be looking into having an account manager, because if you're doing the QBRs properly and you're doing them quarterly, as you should, that's 100 appointments a year. And if you're the owner, I guarantee you're not going to be doing them. And by the way, the SDR can work with that account manager to wrangle the clients who, you say, hey, it's time to book you send the email, it's time to book our quarterly meeting, and they don't show up or don't book it. Or even if you have them pre-booked, you want somebody to call and confirm, and hey, we want to make sure that Tuesday at 10 o'clock is still good. Is everybody going to be there? Do the prep work. So the SDR can even work with your account manager, but your account manager is an inside sales relationship person, and they're not going to get as paid as much as an outside sales rep. All right. So the other role that you're going to need once you get that function going is going to be the outside sales account executive usually, and they're the hunter. They're the people that are going out and kissing babies, shaking hands, developing relationships, meeting with people, and they're dragging in the business. Now, again, that outside sales hunter is going to be supported by the SDR. It's going to be supported by your marketing department. But they are also going to be very strategic. So they should know how to network, how to develop relationships, things that marketing can't necessarily do. So like an outside sales hunter can go to a networking event, have conversations, develop JV partnerships, follow up with those people, open opportunities. They should be able to negotiate contracts. They should be able to really know how to qualify an opportunity. They should know how to stay in touch with these prospects if they're not ready to buy right now. So a good outside salesperson is doing that job. So again, they're working with your SDR, your marketing department. And then when they close a piece of business, they should be handing it over to an account manager and going out and hunting again. So another mistake a lot of MSPs make is they blend these roles. So they put somebody as an account manager and an outside sales hunter. And they are 2 entirely different skill sets. The hunter loves to go out and talk to people, new people. They love to negotiate things. They love the hunt. And they're usually not great on long-term relationships because they're closers. They're there to close the deal, throw it over their shoulder, go hunt a new one, right? And if you blend the role, one of the roles is going to suffer, because they're either going to be a hunter and they're going to just, hunt the crap out of new business and not develop the relationship. Or what more often happens is they get so the current client relationships are so warm, friendly, inviting, no objections, they're easier to sell to. So they focus there and they don't hunt. All right. So these are two separate roles. You don't want to blend them. They're two different skill sets. And my recommendation is you have them separate. Now, the fifth and final function in your sales department is your sales management. And those are the people who do not carry a quota per se, but they are there to build the sales team, to use Jack Daly's quote, in quality and quantity, meaning they are hiring and onboarding reps, they're managing those reps, they're assisting those reps. Their job is to make sure that sales department functions really, really well. So again, to go down the list again, the 5 functions are going to be your sales support, marketing sales support. Second function is going to be your SDR or BDR, business development rep, sales development rep. You're going to have your account manager, who is managing existing customers, doing the QBRs, creating proposals, collecting money, helping you with existing customers. You've got your outside sales hunter, and you've got your sales manager. All right. Now, where do you start? Well, for the most part, it really depends on what's lacking most in your business. For a lot of MSPs, what's lacking is there's no marketing function whatsoever. There's no CRM in place. There's no list. There's no sales support. There's no shock and awe materials. There's no website. There's no SEO. So in a lot of cases, they're going to be starting with a marketing admin who can help get those things in place, or a marketing manager, a coordinator that's going to start getting those things. The second place a lot of people will start then, after they have someone doing that role, is going to be your SDR. So they're the person that are cleaning lists, booking appointments. And by the way, an SDR doesn't just have to book appointments for new prospects. They can go back to existing customers and book appointments for QBRs, for cross-sell. They can put people into webinars for you. Let's say you're having a big client webinar and you want to get all your clients on a big announcement. You can do that. If you're having lunch and learn seminars, they can put people into there. So the SDR, BDR is another role. And what's good about that is they're relatively low in salary. They don't cost as much as an outside sales hunter, not by far, right? They help build a list. They help clean a list. They help follow up on referrals. They help do so much in your business, help clean the list. And they can, if they're good, if they're junior, you can build them up to maybe being an account manager or an account executive, but you put them in that role, they learn the systems, they learn the process, and they help build that for you. Okay. So that might be the other thing. Now, if you have, let's say you're an MSP and you've got somewhere around 50 clients, I can tell you right now, if you have 50 managed clients, you are not doing a good job at meeting with them in QBRs if you don't have an account manager, if you don't have a sales rep. Now, maybe you got a service manager, but a service manager is usually not a salesperson. That's a different role. You want an actual salesperson who knows how to do the QBRs, who knows how to look for opportunities, that will ask for referrals, right? So you want that account manager because they're managing the relationship. Yes, you have, again, the sales engineer is going to be there maybe to help that salesperson. They're going to work as a team, but that account manager needs to know how to communicate. They have to look for opportunities. They have to know how to overcome objections. They have to know how to talk about budgeting, all the things that get the contract signed, help you get the money collected. That should not be your service manager doing that role. That is a sales function. And I know most of you want to hire the Swiss Army knife that could do all 5 functions all in one and under one salary. But I'm telling you, that's a foolish thing. You're gonna end up really frustrated, maybe even losing a good person because you're putting too much on them. It's just not going to work. So those are the 5 functions. So if you are interested in taking this next step, because you might be sitting there going, okay, great, SDR. Well, what do you pay them? How do you compensate them? What's their quota? What does their scorecard look like? How do you manage them? What are they capable of? Like, same with all of these roles. And if you don't know that information, then I want to encourage you to join me at a 2-day workshop that we are hosting called the MSP Sales Roadshow. So mspsalesroadshow.com. We are doing this for our existing clients, but we're allowing other MSPs outside to join us. And in this workshop, we are going to be covering a lot of these topics that we're talking about, not just how to build a sales function in your business, but how do you get past the gatekeeper? And what are the 5 big component parts? of a sale, like closing an MSP sale, and how do you overcome objections, and how do you get invited in, and how do you get referrals, and how do you charge higher fees and negotiate that with your clients, and how do you build that team, and how do you set up the sales and marketing systems to support the salespeople, because you're going to have salespeople, they're going to need opportunities to call on. They don't just like sit there and absorb sales through the atmosphere. I mean, you actually have to generate leads and opportunities, at least something for them to call on, because salespeople don't get burned out from selling, they get burned out from prospecting. So you want to make sure you have some opportunities, because the really good sales reps want to go to a place where they have opportunities to call on. Because remember, good sales reps are like really good customers. There's not that many out there. And if they're good at sales, they have their choice of where they can go work. So you have to build an environment where a good sales rep not only can thrive, but that you can recruit them. Because again, you're competing with some bigger companies like me, who have benefit packages and a really well-rounded sales department. We can give them opportunities. We have a sales playbook. We have training. We have sales management. You're competing with me, right? Now think about you as a sales rep. You're sitting there going, man, I gotta make money. Do I go over here to Doofus, who has zero sales in place? They have no marketing, no sales support, no systems and processes. The owner doesn't know anything about selling, doesn't appreciate salespeople, is going to be a horrible manager. Who wants to go work for that when I can work for this organization here that clearly has their act together? They got systems and processes. I'm going to get paid more. The job's going to be easier because I'm plugging into a system. I'm not figuring it out myself, right? And I'm going to learn something. My career is going to go up because I'm going to learn how to be a better salesperson. I'm going to earn more, right? So you've got to, as the CEO of your company, you've got to create an environment where really good people want to come and work, right? And it starts with you getting educated, because if you don't know sales, then you're really behind the 8 ball. So you've got to come to this workshop. It is critical. If you don't get a handle on the sales function in your business, I guarantee you that you're not going to get the number of clients you want. You're not going to grow. You're going to leave a lot of money on the table because you don't know how to position yourself. You don't know how to overcome objections. You don't know how to build the value of what you do. You don't know how to charge the fees that you need to charge to get the profit margins that you want. That's all sales and negotiations. And if you don't understand it and you're not good at it and you don't have people doing that, you're going to stay small, always, forever. You're just signing up for a life of being small and broke. And unless you hate money, I mean, you got to fix this, right? You got to fix this. So come to MSP Sales Roadshow and get registered. And I guarantee you're going to walk away with a good blueprint of where to get started and put this function and get it working, put this function in place and get it working in your MSP. So click on the link somewhere around this video to go to that website to learn about the event. We've got free resources up there. I've even got a free MSP sales playbook checklist, which outlines what the sales function, what a playbook, good sales playbook looks like, what's included in it. And you can get that for free on that website, mspsalesroadshow.com. Click on the link, go there, get the free resources, but more importantly, get registered. And I'll see you there.